Welcome to Genshin Impact Travelers. This game is a ton of fun and I want to share some basic early game tips that I picked up from the beta, and I used them while playing through the game again for the official release. These tips will be pretty spread out in terms of topics, but I want to get these out as fast as possible to help you guys as you start your adventure. First up, Genshin Impact encourages exploration, and it is so incredibly important that you collect as many oculi as you can. In the Mondstadt area, you will find Anemoculus spread throughout the map, hidden all over the place. Collecting these and bringing them to the big animal god statues will not only give you some rewards, but it also raises your character's stamina cap. It will be much easier to climb, swim, and glide with more stamina in the reserves, and during combat, your main way to dodge enemy attacks will be to dash or sprint, which does consume stamina. While you can spot these oculi floating at high up places or hidden in dark corners, the minimap does reveal their general location. You may have seen white star icons pop up on the minimap with a sound clue, and this hints at an Anemoculus in the area. While you may not be able to reach every oculi immediately, I highly recommend you try to collect any you see on the map. Since you'll be at the god statues a lot, you should also know that they act as your healing stations. Select the statue's blessing option, and I recommend you set the auto recover to 100%. Whenever you fast travel to these statues, standing near them for a couple seconds will trigger the auto heal, and it pulls from an HP pool that recovers over time. While you can eat food to heal, and some characters do heal the party, this is the easiest way to heal your characters while you explore Teyvat. From my experience, I never came close to draining the full HP pool, so feel free to heal often. Next, I have some exploration gathering tips. So as you run around, you may have noticed that there are a ton of collectible flowers, plants, and edible foods. Genshin Impact uses food and cooking as your in-combat health items, and dishes can also give buffs as well. To cook, you obviously need ingredients, and while I won't say you need to mercilessly pick up every plant on the ground, if it's in your way, just grab it. There are many items that you will need for upgrading characters as well, and sometimes they are super random, so to save you from running around later, definitely pick up whatever type of plant you see. If you're worried about inventory space, well, the game gives you 30,000 spaces, so no need to worry for now. For early game cooking, you can make the super simple chicken mushroom skewer. I'm pretty sure the NPC right outside of Mondstadt's bridge gives you the recipe, and it just requires one fowl and one mushroom. It heals you for a bit of percentage max HP and a flat amount, but early on the flat HP will heal most characters a good bit. You can find mushrooms literally everywhere on the ground, and I suggest you pick them up. As for fowl, while you may buy ingredients, you can also just shoot down birds in the wild. Use your archer to tag a few birds whenever you're running around, and they'll drop their fowl meat. Again, you don't need to go crazy, but if you find yourself healing a lot, then it's nice to stock up on those ingredients. Now, you will also need to gather ore materials, mainly to forge 4-star weapons later on. Regular iron ore is pretty common, but from my experience, I suggest you try your best to collect white iron chunks and crystal chunks whenever you can. White iron is different looking than regular iron, and the blue crystal ore sticks out like a sore thumb. To mine in Genshin Impact, you just have to attack the ore with basic attacks or your skills. While swords and polearms can break the ore, a claymore user will easily smash them much faster. Now, the reason I suggest you grab white iron and crystal chunks is because 4-star weapons you forage at the blacksmith take 50 of each to make. Most times the ore in the road only drop one of the items, so it's definitely a lot of work. I will share another way to get more of these ore materials later on. As you explore and run around for fun, you can mess around with freezing bodies of water. Kaya's skill is a low cooldown cryo blast and can be used to continuously freeze water so that you can stand on it. You can literally travel across the ocean if you're patient enough, but if you want to speed things up slightly, you can use the main character's animal skill to spread the cryo a little further out. You can then switch back to Kaya, freeze more water, and then keep on going. You may find that some islands offshore aren't listed on the map. Now, another exploration tip is to use Elemental Sight if you think something is a bit suspicious. Elemental Sight can, for example, reveal destructible rock formations, although they are quite easy to spot once you get familiar with their cracked appearance. If you have seen those floating blue wisps around the map, you may have led some back to their statues for a reward. Well, if you see the statue but you have no clue where the wisp is, then Elemental Sight reveals the general direction of it. It's a faint little glow, but it can give you that little hint you need. Besides collecting oculi, the next most important thing that will help with your general experience in Genshin Impact is knowing how to farm Adventure Rank XP. So Adventure Rank is essentially your account rank in this game, and it locks you out of missions later on, so you will have to do other side quests or just general daily quests to progress at a steady pace. As you progress through the game, do be sure to return to the Adventurers Guild kiosk with Catherine. She will give you rewards for every adventure rank, and certain levels unlock some features of the game. Most important is the daily commission quests. These are 4 usually super simple quests that give you a lot of XP, and they are the purple icons on the map. Do all 4 of them and you return to Catherine for another big chunk of XP. By far, this is the most important thing to do if you only have a little bit of playtime for a day. Also related is the Adventurer's Handbook, which is sort of like a loose checklist of things to do while progressing. For the early game, these give a respectable amount of XP, which can get you through the early levels faster, and a lot of them are mostly simple tasks you probably already did. Next, let's talk about Resin. So Resin is located in the top right when you open your map, and it's essentially your energy / stamina that you would find in a mobile game. You can play Genshin Impact for as long as you want, but Resin allows you to collect rewards from certain activities, and while you don't need to farm much early on, you still want to use your Resin up since it recharges and it gives you adventure rank XP. You can complete domains, which are basically material dungeons, or you can complete ley lines, which can offer gold or character experience items. For now, I would suggest doing the blue ley lines that give XP items for your characters. Just find them in the world, activate them, and beat up a couple waves of enemies. Then collect your reward to receive items and adventure rank experience. In the long term, Genshin Impact's daily gameplay loot will be to complete the 4 daily commissions and then spend your Resin on whatever activities you want. For those looking for more adventure rank experience, you can also do side quests, which are designated in the quest menu at the bottom or in their own tab. There are some character related quests as well. Outside of quests, daily commissions, and Resin usage, you can also earn adventure rank experience just by looting chests in the open world, completing challenges lying around, or guiding those blue wisps back to their statues. Eventually you will run out of quests, so these are ways to slowly level up outside of daily commissions. I don't think you should feel pressured to do absolutely everything you come across, but my advice again is that if it's in your way and you got the time, might as well clear out that small camp of enemies. Everything adds up, but for the early and mid game, there are plenty of regular or side quests to do. Now, one other feature you unlock with adventure rank at level 14, I believe, is the expedition feature. Expeditions let you send characters out to gather materials. You can pick an area, select the type of items you want, select a time limit, and then send your unit off. You can't use characters on expeditions, so this feature is mostly handy if you have spare characters you don't use much, or if you know you're not going to be playing the game for a while. The longer you send someone out on expeditions, the better and more materials you get. This is the other way to get white iron and crystal chunks, and to me it's definitely worth the time. Let's talk about leveling up characters, weapons, and artifacts. So in gacha game fashion, you will need to level your characters and gear to tackle harder content. For characters, they can get experience from killing mobs, but it's very little, so you will need to use leveling items instead. Under attributes, you can level a character up, and it's pretty self-explanatory, but there is a level cap. The first cap is level 20, and to go past that, you need to ascend your character. In the upper right, you can see 6 stars. Those are your ascension levels, and they unlock more talents for your characters, as well as increase the level cap. To ascend, you will need certain materials, and remember how I said you'll need random items you find in the world? Well, ascension levels can require some weird items and will also require ascension materials. You can check the item to see how to get it, but I want to share that certain ones aren't so easy to find early on. If you don't want to Google where to find X monster, you can buy the first ascension shards from Marjorie. She is the vendor that uses animal sigils right across from the Adventurers Guild kiosk, and you probably already have a lot of those sigils because you get them from opening chests in Mondstadt. They are very cheap, so to get past that first ascension level early on, I do believe this is a worthwhile trade. Real quick, with ascension level 1, you will unlock another talent for your character. To get their second unlockable talent, you will need to hit ascension rank 4, which is quite far away. Now let's take this information and apply it to weapons and artifacts. Weapons are pretty basic. They each have different passives if they are 3 stars or higher, so pick your favorite effect. You can level up weapons by sacrificing other weapons or by using the purple crystal weapon enhancement items. You'll probably have a bunch of these lying around, so you should be fine early on. Weapons can be ascended as well to increase their level cap. They can also be refined to improve their effects, but they require an identical version of that same weapon. I know some people advocate for refining 3-star weapons, but personally I was fine ditching them for any 4-star ones I got. You can forge 4-star weapons eventually. I will also say that if you got any 4-star or 5-star weapons from the gacha, well then you should probably be using them. I know they aren't new characters, but weapons are important for your overall strength, and you can swap them to other characters of the same weapon type, so they are nice to have. Moving on to artifacts, these are much more complicated, but I just want to go through the basic leveling process. So artifacts give you a bunch of stats, and they are pretty much your armor slots. When you level them up, they gain more passive substat bonuses every 4 levels and cap at level 20. You cannot ascend artifacts, but they will be harder to level up down the line because you can only level them up with other artifacts. So you need to sacrifice artifacts for leveling, which is why you'll get plenty of them as you play. Along with stat bonuses, artifacts give set bonus effects. You can see on the right side that each one belongs to a set, and if you wear 2 artifacts from the same set, you get the 2-piece bonus, and then there is also a 4-piece bonus as well. Early on, these set bonuses aren't amazing, but they get pretty wowed at 4-star and 5-star rarity. Important to note that you can't get artifacts from the gacha, they are totally farmable in-game, usually from artifact domains or bosses. In the early game, you don't have to worry too much about artifacts, just progress to 2-star and then the 3-star ones as you get them. Level them up at least to level 4 for some bonuses, and then later on, you'll get access to a much wider selection. If you are struggling in the beginning, I suggest just using the Adventurer 2-piece set bonus for 1000 extra HP. Next major thing I want to talk about is Constellations, which is a feature that is going to be controversial throughout this game's lifespan. So Constellations are extra abilities or bonuses that you unlock when you summon a duplicate of a character. The gacha rates are already terrible, but some Constellations have pretty nice bonuses that can alter the way a character plays. If you get a duplicate of a character, you can unlock 1 Constellation level. Luckily, the main character gets access to their constellations through the story and other in-game means. I don't remember which specific quests give you these items, but you can buy one from Marjorie again at her shop. If you have a surplus of sigils, might as well pick it up. If you wanted to fully unlock the constellation of a 5-star gacha character, well then I wish you and your wallet the best of luck. That's going to be it for this video. I have so many things I want to share, but these are some super basic tips as you progress through the game. I would say you probably have moved on from the early game into the mid game when you complete the Mondstadt prologue. That should unlock around adventure rank 18, and after that you can move on to Act 1, which sees you moving on to the second region of the game in Leeway. Additionally, once you hit adventure rank 20, you will unlock more features, and some of these are really important. I do want to have a separate video going over these things, but do know that at least for the launch of the game, there is a promotion where you will get a free Barbara just for making it to rank 20 before the first major update. Rank 20 also opens up the Spiral Abyss, which is an event that also gives you another free character, Zhang Ling, if you make it to a certain level. There are more things to talk about, but I'll leave it at that for now. I'll be making more Genshin Impact videos in the near future, so feel free to subscribe if you want to stay in touch. I'll see you guys in the next video.